Beloved, I did not bring you this far to leave you. I did not walk with you through every season of your life just to abandon you now. If I tell you all will be restored, believe me. Have faith in me because I am the one speaking, and I have never broken a single promise I have made. Not a casual word, not a hopeful suggestion. A promise. Solid, certain, sealed with the authority of heaven itself. And I need you to hear this with every fiber of your being, because what I am about to tell you will shift everything. I have never broken a single promise I have made to anyone who has ever walked this earth. You have been living in a space of uncertainty for longer than you want to admit. You wake up, and the first thing that floods your mind is not peace, but questions. Will this work out? What if it does not? How long will I have to wait? What if I am not strong enough? What if I am not good enough? What if everything falls apart despite my best efforts? The questions pile up before you even get out of bed, and you carry them with you throughout the entire day like heavy stones in a backpack you cannot put down. By the time you lay your head down, you are exhausted not from what you did, but from what you have been thinking, worrying, rehearsing in your mind over and over again. I see it all. I see the weight you carry. I see the furrow in your brow that never quite goes away. I see the way your shoulders tense up when someone mentions the very thing you have been praying about, because you do not want to admit out loud that you are still waiting, still hoping, still believing, even though nothing visible has changed yet. I see the way you have learned to smile and say you are fine when someone asks, even though inside you are barely holding it together. I see the way you scroll through your phone at times when you should be resting, not because you are interested in what you are seeing, but because you are trying to distract yourself from the thoughts that will not leave you alone. And I am telling you right now, in this moment, that I did not design you to live this way. I did not create you to spend your days consumed with worry and your nights wrestling with fear. I did not breathe life into you so that you could spend that life anxiously trying to control outcomes you were never meant to control in the first place. That is not the abundant life I promised. That is not the peace I said I would give. That is not rest. And I want you to experience rest. True rest. The kind that settles deep into your soul and changes the way you see everything. The words I am speaking to you right now are not empty comfort. They are not pretty phrases designed to make you feel momentarily better before reality crashes back in. These are declarations of truth that carry the full weight of my authority. When I speak, things shift in the spiritual realm. When I declare something over your life, heaven begins to move in alignment with that declaration. When I make a promise, the universe itself bends to bring that promise into manifestation. You have been standing at a crossroads between what I have said and what you can see, between the promise I have given and the reality you are experiencing, between the future I have spoken over you and the present that feels stuck. And that tension, that gap between the two, has been exhausting you. You keep looking at where you are and comparing it to where you thought you would be by now. You keep measuring your progress by human timelines instead of divine timing. You keep evaluating my faithfulness based on visible evidence instead of anchoring yourself in the immutable truth of my character. Let me tell you something that will change the way you process this waiting season. The promise is not delayed. The promise is developing. What looks like a postponement is actually preparation. What feels like God moving slowly is actually God moving strategically. I am not making you wait because I forgot about you. I am walking you through a process because I cared too much about you to give you something you are not ready to steward. Think about a seed planted in the ground. From the moment that seed goes into the soil, a process begins, but you cannot see it. If you dug up the seed 3 days after planting it because you were anxious to see progress, you would actually damage the very thing you are hoping to grow. The seed needs time in the darkness. It needs time in the hidden place. It needs to break open, send roots down deep, establish a foundation that can support what is going to grow above ground. And all of that happens invisibly, silently, in a way that looks like nothing is happening. But everything is happening. The seed is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It is fulfilling its purpose in the stage it is in. And if you are patient, if you do not interfere with the process, If you give it the time it needs, one day you will see a green shoot break through the surface of the soil, and then you will realize that all that time you thought nothing was happening, everything was happening. You just could not see it, because the most important work was taking place beneath the surface. That is where you are right now. You are in the beneath the surface stage, the hidden stage. The stage where it looks like nothing is moving, but everything is actually shifting into place. I am doing things behind the scenes that you will not understand until you see the full picture. I am arranging circumstances that have to be aligned perfectly. I am positioning people who need to be in place at the right time. I am preparing you internally for what I am about to release externally. And all of this takes time, not because I am slow, but because I am thorough. I do not do anything halfway. I do not cut corners. I do not rush through important processes just to meet your preferred timeline. I am committed to doing this right, which means I am committed to doing this completely. Every detail matters to me. Every piece of the puzzle has significance. Every moment of this journey has purpose. And when it all comes together, when you finally see what I have been building, you are going to be in awe of how perfectly everything fits. But right now you cannot see that. Right now all you can see is the waiting, the uncertainty, the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And that gap has been breeding fear in your heart. Fear that maybe you misheard me. Fear that maybe the promise was not as solid as you thought. Fear that maybe you are going to be the exception, the one person for whom it does not work out. Let me dismantle that fear with truth. You did not mishear me. The promise is exactly as solid as you believed it was when I first spoke it to your heart. And you are not going to be the exception. You are going to be another testimony to my faithfulness. Another example of what happens when someone chooses to believe my word, even when circumstances say otherwise. Another story that encourages people who come after you to keep standing, keep believing, keep trusting that I always finish what I start. I want to take you deeper into understanding what it means when I say wholeness awaits you. You have been defining well based on your current wish list. You have been thinking that things will be well when that specific situation resolves, when that particular door opens, when that certain relationship is restored, when that financial breakthrough happens. And while I may indeed do all of those things, I need you to understand that well is much bigger than your immediate comfort. I am making things right does not mean everything will be easy. It does not mean you will never face another challenge. It does not mean life will suddenly become a smooth path with no obstacles. What it means is that no matter what you face, no matter what comes against you, no matter what tries to derail you, I am working it all together for your ultimate good. What it means is that even the hard things, even the painful things, even the things that feel like setbacks, are actually being woven into a story of redemption that will blow your mind when you see it from heaven's perspective. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused by his master's wife, and thrown into prison for years. Everything in his life seemed to work against him, yet every painful step was positioning him for purpose. The betrayal sent him to Egypt. The slavery taught him leadership. The prison connected him to Pharaoh's court. When he finally stood before his brothers as second in command of Egypt, he declared, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. The injustice was real. The pain was real. But I transformed it all into redemption." That is what I am doing in your situation. The enemy has intended certain things for harm. Other people have intended certain things for harm. Circumstances that seem random and cruel were intended for harm. But I intended it all for good. I am taking every single thing that was meant to destroy you, and I am turning it into the very thing that propels you into your destiny. I am taking the betrayal and using it to build character in you. I am taking the delay and using it to develop patience in you. I am taking the disappointment and using it to deepen your dependence on me. Nothing is being wasted. Nothing is being lost. Everything is being redeemed. But I need you to stay in faith during the process. I need you to keep believing even when you cannot see the evidence yet. I need you to keep standing on my promises even when everything visible contradicts them. Because the moment you give up, the moment you walk away, the moment you decide it is not worth it anymore, is the moment you walk away from everything I have been preparing for you. You are closer than you think. You are further along in the process than it feels. You are right on the edge of breakthrough, and the enemy knows it, which is why he is working overtime to get you to quit. He is throwing every discouraging thought he can at you. He is magnifying every obstacle. He is whispering that it is taking too long, that it is not going to happen, that you should just give up and move on. And he is doing all of that because he knows that if you hold on just a little bit longer, you are going to walk into everything I have promised you. He knows that your breakthrough is imminent, so he is trying to get you to abort the process before you see the fruit of your faith. Do not fall for it. Do not let weariness talk you out of what you have been contending for. Do not let disappointment convince you that I am not coming through. Do not let the length of the wait make you believe that the promise is not real. I am not slow. I am strategic. I am not late. I am right on time. And when you look back on this season from the other side of your breakthrough, you are going to see that the timing was perfect. You are going to understand why certain things had to happen when they did. You are going to recognize that I was orchestrating details you knew nothing about, moving pieces you could not see, working in ways you could not comprehend. Let me shift your perspective on something that has been troubling you. You have been interpreting the silence as absence. You have been thinking that because you have not heard from me in the way you expected, I must have stopped paying attention. You have been equating lack of visible movement with lack of divine activity. But I need you to understand that some of my most powerful work happens in silence. Some of the most significant shifts happen without announcement. Some of the biggest breakthroughs are prepared in secret and revealed suddenly. I have not stopped speaking to you. I have been speaking constantly. But I have been speaking to the situation, not just to you. I have been speaking to the mountains in your life and commanding them to move. I have been speaking to the doors that need to open and declaring that they will. I have been speaking to the provision you need and releasing it from the realm of the spirit into the realm of the natural. I have been speaking life over dead situations. I have been speaking healing over broken places. I have been speaking restoration over what the enemy tried to steal. And every word I have spoken carries the full weight of my authority and will accomplish exactly what I sent it to accomplish. You do not need to hear my voice in order to believe that I am working. You can know that I am working because I told you I would. I promised you that I would never leave you or forsake you. I promised you that I work all things together for good for those who love me. I promised you that I am able to do immeasurably more than all you ask or imagine. And I keep my promises, every single one of them. I am not a man that I should lie or a son of man that I should change my mind. Have I ever spoken and failed to act? Have I ever promised and not fulfilled? Search the scriptures. Search history. Search your own life. Find me one time when I said I would do something and did not do it. You will not find it, because it does not exist. My word is not like human words that can be spoken flippantly and forgotten easily. My word is living and active. My word is powerful. My word accomplishes what I send it to accomplish. And when I speak a promise over your life, that promise carries the force of my character behind it, which means it is as certain as my own existence. So when I tell you that wholeness awaits you, I am not offering you a hope. I am declaring to you a reality. I am not giving you something to wish for. I am telling you something that is already settled in heaven and is making its way into your visible experience. The outcome is not in question. The only question is whether you will believe it before you see it, or only after you see it. And I am inviting you to believe it now, to stand on it now, to rest in it now, to let that truth change the way you think, the way you feel, the way you pray, the way you process everything that is happening in your life. Believing before you see is not naive. It is not foolish. It is not irresponsible. Believing before you see is faith, and faith is what pleases me. Faith is what moves mountains. Faith is what releases miracles. Faith is what bridges the gap between the promise and the manifestation. When you believe what I have said, even though you have not seen it yet, you are aligning your heart with heaven. You are positioning yourself to receive what I have already released. You are opening yourself up to experience the fullness of what I have prepared for you. But unbelief blocks the flow. Doubt creates resistance. Fear builds walls that prevent you from receiving what I am trying to give you. Not because I withhold it as punishment, but because you cannot receive what you do not believe exists. You cannot walk into promises you have convinced yourself are not real. You cannot experience blessings you have decided you do not deserve. This is why I keep coming back to this one instruction. Believe me. Not believe in me, though that is important too. But believe me. Take me at my word. Accept what I say as absolute truth. Let my declarations override your doubts. Let my promises silence your fears. Let my word be the final authority in your life, not your feelings, not your circumstances, not other people's opinions. When I led my people out of Egypt, they saw miracle after miracle. They saw plagues that devastated their oppressors while leaving them untouched. They saw the sea split in half so they could walk through on dry ground. They saw a pillar of cloud lead them by day and a pillar of fire lead them by night. They saw bread from heaven appear every single morning. They saw water come out of a rock when they were thirsty. They saw me provide for their every need in a wilderness where there was no natural provision. But when they got to the edge of the promised land and spies came back with reports of giants and fortified cities, they chose to believe what they could see with their eyes instead of what I had spoken with my mouth. And because of that unbelief, an entire generation died in the wilderness without ever experiencing what I had prepared for them. I do not want that to be your story. I do not want you to wander in circles for years because you chose fear over faith. I do not want you to miss out on everything I have prepared for you because you could not get past what you could see with your natural eyes. The giants in your life are real. The obstacles are real. The challenges are real. But I am more real than any of them. And my power is greater than any obstacle you will ever face. You have been giving too much attention to the size of your problems and not enough attention to the size of your God. You have been measuring what is possible based on your limitations instead of my limitless ability. You have been calculating the odds based on natural circumstances instead of supernatural intervention. And as long as you keep doing that, you are going to stay stuck in fear. I need you to shift your focus. Stop staring at the giants. Stop obsessing over the obstacles. Stop replaying worst-case scenarios in your mind. Instead, fix your eyes on me. Remind yourself of who I am. Rehearse what I have done. Declare what I have promised. Fill your mind and your mouth with truth instead of fear, with faith instead of doubt, with my word instead of worry. This is not about pretending the problems do not exist. This is about recognizing that no problem is bigger than me. This is not about ignoring reality. This is about acknowledging that there is a reality beyond what you can see with your natural eyes. This is not about living in denial. This is about living in the truth that I am God, I am good, I am in control, and I am working everything out for your benefit. The peace I am offering you is not dependent on your circumstances changing. The peace I want you to experience is not contingent on everything working out the way you think it should. The peace I give surpasses understanding, which means it exists even in situations that do not make sense, even in seasons that are confusing, even in moments when everything feels chaotic. My peace can fill your heart in the middle of a storm, because my peace is not about what is happening around you. It is about who is with you, and my presence surrounds you, always, in every moment, in every situation, in every season. I will never leave you. I will never abandon you. I will never turn my back on you. You have been feeling alone because you have been looking for me in the wrong places. You have been expecting me to show up in dramatic ways, in obvious signs, in unmistakable miracles. And while I do move that way sometimes, more often I am present in the quiet moments, in the subtle shifts, in the small graces, in the barely noticeable provisions that you almost missed because you are looking for something bigger. I am in the strength that gets you out of bed when you do not think you can face another day. I am in the unexpected encouragement that comes from a friend at exactly the moment you needed it. I am in the peace that washes over you in the middle of a panic attack. I am in the idea that suddenly occurs to you that ends up being the solution you were looking for. I am in the door that opens just when you thought all doors were closed. I am in the provision that shows up right before you run out. I am in every good gift, every perfect gift, every moment of grace, every breath you take. My presence is not always loud. It is not always obvious. It is not always dramatic. But it is constant. It is steady. It is reliable. And when you start looking for me in the everyday moments instead of only in the extraordinary ones, you will realize that I have been with you all along. You will see that I never left. You will recognize that even in the hardest seasons, even in the darkest valleys, even in the most confusing times, I was there, walking with you, carrying you, sustaining you, providing for you, fighting for you. And I am still here. I walk beside you still. I am still carrying you when you do not have the strength to walk. I am still sustaining you. I am still providing for you. I am still fighting battles on your behalf that you do not even know about. I am still working things out behind the scenes. I am still orchestrating circumstances. I am still positioning people. I am still opening doors. I am still removing obstacles. I am still making ways where there is no way. You do not have to see it to believe it. You do not have to understand it to trust it. You do not have to figure it all out to rest in the knowledge that I have it all figured out. I am asking you to let go of the need to control. Let go of the need to understand. Let go of the need to see evidence before you believe. Just lean on me. Just rest in me. Just lean into the truth that I am God and you are not. That I see what you cannot see. That I know what you do not know. That I am doing what you cannot do. This is not about being passive. This is not about doing nothing. This is about doing what I tell you to do and leaving the results to me. This is about being obedient to my leading without trying to manipulate the outcome. This is about playing your part without trying to play my part too. There are things that are your responsibility. Listen, obey, trust, stand on my word. Keep your heart right. Walk in love. Maintain your faith. Those are your responsibilities. The rest is mine. And I am very good at what I do. I am the God who created the universe with a word. I am the God who holds the stars in place. I am the God who knows the number of hairs on your head. I am the God who feeds the birds and clothes the flowers and sustains all of creation. I am the God who parted seas and made the sun stand still, and brought water from rocks and fed multitudes with next to nothing. I am the God who healed the sick and raised the dead and walked out of my own tomb. I am the God who was and is to come. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the beginning and the end. I am the first and the last. I am the one who sits on the throne. I am the one who rules over everything. And I am the one who is working in your life right now, in this moment, accomplishing my purposes and fulfilling my promises. So stop worrying about whether I can do what I said I would do. I can. Stop questioning whether I will follow through. I will. Stop wondering if maybe this time will be different. It will not. I am the same yesterday and forever. What I have done for others, I will do for you. How I have been faithful in the past, I will be faithful in the future. I do not play favorites. I do not have a limited supply of blessings. I do not run out of power or resources or willingness to help. I am more than enough for every single person who calls on my name, including you. You are not asking for too much. You are not being greedy. You are not being presumptuous. You are simply asking your Father for what you need. And I am a father who loves to give good gifts to my children. I am not stingy. I am not reluctant. I am not looking for reasons to say no. I am looking for opportunities to bless you, to provide for you, to show you how much I love you. And I am about to do exactly that in ways that will leave no doubt in your mind that I am real, that I am active, that I am involved in every detail of your life. But the blessing is not just in the outcome. The blessing is also in the journey. The blessing is in what I am doing in you while you are waiting for me to do something for you. The blessing is in the character development, the faith building, the perspective shifting that is happening in this season. The blessing is in the intimacy we are developing as you learn to depend on me in ways you never had to before. The blessing is in the stripping away of self-reliance and the building up of God-reliance. You have been so focused on getting to the destination that you have been missing the value of the journey. You have been so fixated on the promise that you have been overlooking the process. You have been so desperate for the breakthrough that you have been resenting the breaking that is necessary to get you there. But I need you to understand that who you are becoming is just as important as what you are receiving. The promise without the preparation would destroy you. The blessing without the character to sustain it would become a curse. The elevation without the foundation to support it would result in a devastating fall. So I am taking my time, not because I am slow, but because I am thorough. I am building something in you that will last. I am creating something in you that cannot be shaken. I am establishing something in you that will carry you through every season for the rest of your life. This wait is not wasted time. This delay is not denial. This process is not punishment. This is me loving you enough to prepare you for what I am about to give you. Receive that. Embrace that. Cooperate with that. Stop fighting the process. Stop resisting the season. Stop wishing you were somewhere else. Be fully present in this moment. Be fully engaged with what I am doing right now. Be fully surrendered to the work I am doing in you. Because when you stop fighting me and start flowing with me, everything becomes easier. The burden becomes lighter. The weight becomes more bearable. The process becomes purposeful instead of painful. I am inviting you into rest. Not the kind of rest where you do nothing, but the kind of rest where you stop striving, where you stop trying to control outcomes, where you stop carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. The kind of rest where you do what I ask you to do, and then believe in me to do what only I can do. The kind of rest where you sleep peacefully at night because you know that the one who watches over you never sleeps. The kind of rest where you face each day with confidence because you know that I have already gone before you and prepared the way. This rest is available to you right now, not when everything is resolved, not when all your questions are answered, not when you finally see the breakthrough. Right now, in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the waiting, in the middle of the uncertainty. Because rest is not about circumstances. Rest is about trust. And you can trust me today just as fully as you will be able to trust me when you see the promise fulfilled. Everything will be well. Let that truth sink deep into your soul. Let it replace the anxiety. Let it silence the fear. Let it anchor your heart. Let it steady your mind. Let it give you hope when everything around you feels hopeless. Let it be the rock you stand on when everything else is sinking sand. Because it is true. It is real. It is certain. It is guaranteed by the character and nature of the one who spoke it. And that one is me, the God who cannot lie, the God who does not change, the God who always keeps his promises, the God who is faithful even when you are faithless, the God who is working all things together for your good, the God who is for you and therefore no one can successfully stand against you. Rely on me with this situation. Rest in my promises for this season. Have faith through this process. Believe in me through this wait. Lean on me with your future. Depend on me with your heart. Release to me everything you have been trying to control. Release it into my hands. Let me carry it. Let me handle it. Let me work it out. And then watch what I do. Watch how I move. Watch how I provide. Watch how I open doors. Watch how I remove obstacles. Watch how I turn things around. Watch how I redeem what was lost. Watch how I restore what was broken. Watch how I make all things new. You are going to be amazed. You are going to be in awe. You are going to wonder why you ever doubted. You are going to look back on this season and see my hand in places you never recognized it. You are going to understand that every delay had purpose. You are going to realize that every closed door protected you from something that would have harmed you. You are going to see that every hard moment was building something in you that you needed for what was coming. You are going to recognize that I was orchestrating everything, even the things that seemed random or cruel or unfair. And you are going to have a testimony. a story, an experience that you can share with others who are in their own waiting season. You are going to be able to encourage someone else who is struggling to hold on. You are going to be able to point them back to my faithfulness because you experienced it yourself. You are going to be living proof that I keep my promises, that I show up for my people, that I am worthy of trust, even when circumstances say otherwise. But that testimony starts here. It starts now. It starts with you choosing to believe me before you see the evidence. It starts with you standing on my word when everything visible contradicts it. It starts with you declaring that everything will be well even when everything looks like it is falling apart. That is faith. That is trust. That is what pleases me and releases my power into your situation. So I am asking you one more time. If I tell you I'm making things right, will you believe me? Will you take me at my word? Will you let go of your worry and grab hold of my promises? Will you stop trying to figure it all out and just follow me one step at a time? Will you rest in the knowledge that I am God, I am good, I am in control, and I am working everything out for your benefit? I hope your answer is yes, because I have so much planned for you. So much good, so much blessing, so much provision, so much joy, so much peace, so much purpose, so much more than you could ask or imagine. And I want you to experience all of it. I want you to walk in the fullness of everything I have called you to. I want you to live the abundant life I died to give you. But it all starts with trust. It all starts with believing my promises. It all starts with choosing faith over fear. And I know that is not always easy. I know there are days when the fear feels overwhelming. I know there are moments when the doubt creeps in and you wonder if you are crazy for still believing. I know there are times when you look at your situation and it seems impossible that things could ever be well. But that is when you have to remember who I am. That is when you must rely on me. That is when you have to go back to my word. That is when you have to remind yourself of all the times I have come through for you before. I have never failed you, not once. I have never left you. I have never abandoned you. I have never stopped loving you. I have never given up on you. And I am not going to start now. I am the same yesterday and forever. I am faithful. I am reliable. I am trustworthy. And I am asking you to put your full weight on my promises the same way you would put your full weight on a solid rock. They will hold you. They will not crumble. They will not give way. They are sure. They are certain. They are guaranteed by the character and nature of the one who spoke them. Everything will be well. Not because everything will be perfect. Not because you will never struggle again. Not because life will suddenly become easy. But because I am in control and I work all things together for good. Because I am leading you. And I always lead my people to places of blessing. Because my presence surrounds you, and that changes everything. Because I am for you, and if I am for you, no one can successfully stand against you. So rest in that. Stand on that. Build your life on that. Let that truth anchor you when the storms come. Let that promise steady you when everything is shaking. Let that reality comfort you when you are afraid. Because it is true. It is real. It is solid. It is unshakable. And it is yours. Not because you earned it. Not because you deserve it. Not because you were perfect. But because you are mine. You belong to me. You are my child. And I take care of my children. I provide for my children. I protect my children. I fight for my children. I never give up on my children. And nothing can separate you from my love. Not hardship. Not distress. Not danger. Not anything in all creation. You are permanently, irrevocably, eternally mine. And I remain permanently, irrevocably, eternally committed to your well-being. Let me speak to the specific fear that has been gripping your heart. The one you have not spoken out loud to anyone. The one you barely want to acknowledge to yourself. The fear that maybe you are going to end up alone. That maybe you are going to lose what you have been holding on to. That maybe the worst-case scenario you keep imagining is actually going to happen. That maybe this time, things really are not going to work out. I see that fear. I know where it came from. I know what fed it. I know how it grew from a small whisper into a loud voice that sometimes drowns out everything else. And I am telling you right now that the fear is lying to you. It is taking worst-case scenarios that are not rooted in my promises and presenting them as inevitable outcomes. It is magnifying possibilities and making them feel like certainties. It is stealing your peace by convincing you that disaster is just around the corner. But I am the one who holds your future. Not fear, not circumstances, not other people, not random chance. Me. And I have good plans for you. Plans to prosper you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Plans that are better than anything you could design for yourself. So when fear tries to tell you what is going to happen, I need you to remember who is actually in charge of what happens. I need you to remember that I have the final say. I need you to remember that my word overrides every prediction fear tries to make. You are not going to end up alone. You are not going to lose what I have ordained for you to have. The worst-case scenario is not going to happen because I am intervening on your behalf. This is going to work out. Not because you are managing it well. Not because you are doing everything right. But because I am managing it, and I never fail. So stop entertaining the fear. Stop giving it space in your mind. Stop rehearsing disaster in your thoughts. Stop playing out scenarios that are not going to happen. Every time that fear rises up, I want you to recognize it as an enemy that is trying to steal your peace. And I want you to replace it with truth. Speak my promises out loud. Declare what I have said about your future. Remind yourself of who I am and what I have done and what I am going to do. This is not about positive thinking. This is not about pretending everything is fine. This is about spiritual warfare. This is about taking every thought captive and making it obedient to Christ. This is about renewing your mind with truth so that lies no longer have power over you. And when you do this consistently, when you make it a practice to reject fear and embrace truth, you will start to notice that the fear loses its grip, the anxiety lessens, the peace increases, because you are aligning your thoughts with heaven instead of with hell. I want to talk to you about the weight you have been carrying. Not just the mental and emotional weight of worry and fear, but the weight of responsibility you were never meant to carry. You have been trying to hold things together. You have been trying to fix things that are not yours to fix. You have been trying to control outcomes that are not yours to control. You have been trying to manage other people's responses and behaviors. You have been trying to make things happen in your own strength. And all of that has exhausted you. I never asked you to do any of that. I never told you that your job was to hold everything together. I never said that you were responsible for fixing everything. I never put you in charge of controlling outcomes. I never assigned you the task of managing other people. I never expected you to make things happen in your own strength. Those are burdens you picked up on your own, and they are crushing you. Let them go. Release them. Give them to me. They are too heavy for you to carry, but they are not too heavy for me. I can handle what you cannot handle. I can fix what you cannot fix. I can control what you cannot control. I can manage what you cannot manage. I can do what you cannot do. So stop trying to carry what I am offering to carry for you. Cast all your anxiety on me because I care for you. That is not just a suggestion. That is an instruction, an invitation, a command. Cast it. Throw it. Hurl it. Get rid of it. Do not hold on to it. Do not manage it. Do not try to keep it under control. Give it to me. All of it. Every worry, every fear, every burden, every concern, every stress, every anxiety. Give it all to me because I care about you and I can handle it, and you do not have to. You have been trying to ration your peace like it is a limited resource. Like you only have so much and you have to save it for the really hard moments. But my peace is not limited. It is not something you can run out of. It is an unlimited supply that is constantly available to you. You do not have to earn it. You do not have to deserve it. You just have to receive it. And you receive it by letting go of what you are holding on to and reaching out for what I am holding out to you. You cannot hold anxiety and peace at the same time. You have to choose. And I am asking you to choose me. Choose my peace. Choose my rest. Choose to believe my promises instead of your fears. Choose to trust my character instead of your circumstances. Choose faith over fear. Choose hope over despair. Choose joy over anxiety. Choose rest over striving. This is a daily choice. Sometimes it is a moment-by-moment choice, because the anxiety will try to creep back in. The fear will try to grab hold again. The worry will try to take over. And every time that happens, you have to make the choice again. No, I am not going there. I am not entertaining that thought. I am not agreeing with that fear. I am choosing to believe what God said. I am choosing to stand on His promises. I am choosing peace. And the more you make that choice, the easier it becomes. The more you practice replacing fear with faith, the more natural it feels. The more you declare truth over lies, the less power the lies have. The more you rest in my promises, the less you struggle with anxiety. It is a process. It is a journey. But I am with you every step of the way, helping you, strengthening you, reminding you of truth when you forget, picking you up when you stumble, celebrating with you when you choose faith over fear. I want to address something that has been confusing you. You have been wondering why I have not answered certain prayers the way you asked me to. You have been questioning whether I even heard those prayers. You have been struggling with feelings of disappointment because you asked for something specific and I did not give it to you. At least not yet. At least not in the way you expected. Let me explain something about how I answer prayers. I always hear you. Every single prayer you pray reaches my ears. Every cry of your heart, every whispered request, every desperate plea, every thankful praise. I hear all of it. I do not miss anything. I do not ignore you. I do not forget what you asked for. But I do not always answer in the way you expect, because I see things you do not see. I know things you do not know. I understand ramifications you cannot understand. Sometimes the thing you are asking for is not actually what you need. Sometimes what you think will make you happy would actually lead you into bondage. Sometimes what you think is the answer is actually a distraction from the real solution I am trying to give you. Sometimes what you are asking for would be harmful if I gave it to you right now, but beneficial if I give it to you later after you have grown and matured and developed. I am not saying I will not give you what you are asking for. I am just saying that my commitment is not to give you what you want. My commitment is to give you what you need. My commitment is to do what is best for you, even when what is best does not feel good in the moment. My commitment is to love you too much to give you something that would hurt you, even if you really want it. Think about a parent with a small child. The child asks for candy for breakfast. The parent says no. The child does not understand why. From the child's perspective, the parent is being mean. The parent has the candy. The parent could give the candy. The parent is choosing not to give the candy. So the parent must not care about what the child wants. But the parent says no, because the parent loves the child and knows that candy for breakfast would not be good for the child's health. The parent has a bigger perspective. The parent understands nutrition in a way the child does not. The parent is making a decision based on what is best for the child, not just what the child wants in the moment. That is what I am doing. I am not withholding good things from you because I am mean or because I do not care. I am making decisions based on a perspective you do not have. I am considering factors you are not aware of. I am protecting you from things you cannot see. I am positioning you for things you do not know are coming. And sometimes that means I say no to what you are asking for because I have something better planned. Sometimes it means I say not yet because the timing is not right. Sometimes it means I say different because I am answering the prayer in a way you did not expect, but that will ultimately be more beneficial. Rest in my decisions. Have faith in my wisdom. Depend on my love. Even when you do not understand. Even when it does not make sense. Even when you feel disappointed. I am always working for your good. I am always acting in your best interest. I am always motivated by love. And one day when you see the full picture, you are going to understand why I answered the way I did. you are going to see that what felt like a no was actually protection. What felt like a delay was actually preparation. What felt like a different answer was actually a better answer. Let me take you into the heart of worship. Not the kind of worship that is based on what I am doing for you. Not the kind of worship that only shows up when things are going well, but the kind of worship that comes from a heart that has learned to love me for who I am, not just for what I do. The kind of worship that declares my goodness even in the valley. The kind of worship that praises my faithfulness even in the waiting. The kind of worship that trusts my love even when circumstances seem to contradict it. This kind of worship shifts the atmosphere. This kind of worship breaks chains. This kind of worship opens doors. This kind of worship releases breakthrough. Because this kind of worship is not dependent on circumstances. It is rooted in truth. It flows from a heart that knows who I am and chooses to honor me regardless of what is happening around it. When you worship me in the middle of the battle, you are declaring that I am bigger than the battle. When you praise me in the middle of the storm, you are declaring that I am more powerful than the storm. When you thank me in the middle of the wait, you are declaring that you trust my timing more than your own. And that kind of declaration carries spiritual weight. It shifts things in the heavenly realm. It releases my power into your situation. I am not asking you to fake happiness. I am not asking you to pretend everything is fine. I am not asking you to ignore the reality of what you are facing. I am asking you to acknowledge a greater reality. The reality that I am God. The reality that I am good. The reality that I am in control. The reality that I love you. The reality that I am working everything out for your benefit. And when you anchor yourself in that reality through worship, you position yourself to experience breakthrough. There is power in worship. There is power in declaring my goodness when you do not feel it. There is power in praising my faithfulness when you do not see it. There is power in thanking me for what I am doing even though you cannot see it yet. Because worship is an act of faith. Worship is an act of trust. Worship is an act of surrender. And when you worship me in the middle of hard circumstances, you are saying that I am worthy of your trust even when you do not understand what I am doing. I want to bring you back to the promise one more time because I need you to understand the certainty of what I have spoken over your life. This is not a maybe. This is not a probably. This is not a hopefully. This is a definite. This is an absolute. This is a guarantee. All will be restored. Not might be restored. Not should be restored. Not could be restored. Will be restored. That declaration carries the full weight of my authority. When I speak something into existence, it becomes reality. When I declare something over your life, it is as good as done. When I make a promise, it is already yes and amen in the spiritual realm, and it is only a matter of time before it manifests in the natural realm. So stop questioning whether it is going to happen. It is. Stop wondering if maybe you heard wrong. You did not. Stop doubting whether the promise is really for you. It is. I spoke it over your life specifically. I have ordained it for you personally. I have prepared it for you individually. This is not a generic word that applies to everyone. This is a specific promise that I am making to you in this moment about this situation. Receive it. Believe it. Stand on it. Declare it. Let it become the foundation of your faith. Let it be the anchor for your soul. Let it steady you when everything else is shaking. Because it is true. It is real. It is certain. And wholeness is on its way. Right now. Behind the scenes. In ways you cannot see yet. But you will. Soon. Very soon. You are going to see the evidence of what I have been telling you. You are going to experience the manifestation of what I have been promising you. You are going to witness firsthand that I am faithful, that my word is true, that I keep my promises. And when that happens, when you see it with your own eyes, when you experience it for yourself, you are going to remember this moment. You are going to remember that I told you everything would be well. You are going to remember that I asked you to believe me before you saw the evidence. You are going to remember that I invited you to trust me in the middle of uncertainty. And you are going to be so glad that you did. You are going to be so grateful that you held on. You are going to be so thankful that you did not give up. This is your moment to choose faith. This is your opportunity to believe me. This is your invitation to rest in my promises. Do not let it pass you by. Do not miss this chance to align your heart with heaven. Do not waste this season wishing you were somewhere else when I am doing something significant right where you are. Peace is coming to you. I have spoken it. Heaven has heard it. Angels are working to bring it to pass. And you are about to see it manifest in your life in ways that exceed your expectations and blow your mind. So hold on. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep standing on my word. Because your breakthrough is closer than you think. Your promise is nearer than it appears. Your season is shifting even as I speak. And when it all comes together, when you see what I have been building, when you experience what I have been preparing, you are going to look back on this moment and realize that this was the turning point. This was when you chose to believe me instead of your circumstances. This was when you decided to trust my word over your worry. This was when you made the shift from striving to resting, from fear to faith, from doubt to confidence. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your season. And everything, truly everything, is about to be well. There is something I need to show you about the nature of waiting. You have been treating this waiting season as if it is empty space between where you were and where you are going, as if it is wasted time that you just have to endure until the real life begins. But I need you to see that this season has value. This moment has meaning. This waiting room is not empty. It is full of my presence, full of my activity, full of purpose that you cannot see yet, but that is shaping you in profound ways. Every person I have ever used significantly went through a season of waiting. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before I sent him to deliver my people. David spent years running from Saul after he had already been anointed king. Joseph spent years in slavery and prison before he was elevated to the palace. Paul spent time in Arabia after his dramatic encounter with me on the Damascus Road, being prepared for the ministry I was calling him to. Jesus himself spent 30 years in obscurity before beginning his public ministry. The waiting was not wasted. The preparation was not punishment. The delay was not denial. I was using that time to develop something in each of them that they would need for what was coming. I was stripping away what needed to be removed. I was building up what needed to be strengthened. I was teaching them things they could only learn in that particular season. And when the time finally came for them to step into their calling, they were ready, not because they were perfect, but because they had been prepared. That is what I'm doing with you. This season is not about me forgetting you. This season is about me preparing you. Every day that passes is not a day wasted. It is a day invested. I am investing in your character. I am investing in your faith. I am investing in your ability to trust me when you cannot see what I am doing. I am investing in your dependence on me rather than your own ability to make things happen. And all of that investment is going to pay off in ways you cannot imagine when you finally step into everything I have prepared for you. But you have to stop resisting this season. You have to stop seeing it as the enemy. You have to stop wishing you were somewhere else. Because the resistance is what makes it painful. The fighting is what makes it exhausting. When you surrender to the process, when you embrace the season you are in instead of always looking ahead to the next one, when you allow me to do what I need to do in you right now, everything shifts. The burden lifts. The peace comes. The joy returns. Not because circumstances changed, but because your perspective changed. I want you to understand something about the promises I make. They are not just about the destination. They are about the journey. They are not just about what you get at the end. They are about who you become along the way. When I promise you that everything will be well, I am not just talking about your external circumstances eventually aligning with what you hope for. I am talking about your internal state becoming so anchored in me that you are well regardless of what is happening around you. True wellness is not about having everything you want. True wellness is about wanting everything you have. It is about being content in every situation because you have learned the secret that Paul discovered. That secret is that contentment comes from Christ, who gives you strength, not from circumstances that give you comfort. Paul said he had learned to be content whether he was in plenty or in want, whether he was well fed or hungry, whether he had much or little. He found a peace that transcended his circumstances because he found his sufficiency in Christ rather than in conditions. That is what I want for you. Not just better circumstances, better character. Not just more blessings, more of me. Not just a changed situation, a changed heart. Because here is the truth. If I give you everything you are asking for but you have not developed the character to handle it well, the blessing will become a burden. If I open every door you want opened but you have not learned to walk in wisdom, you will walk through those doors into trouble. If I elevate you before you are ready, the height will be dangerous because you do not have the foundation to sustain it. So I am taking my time with you, not because I do not care about your dreams, but because I care too much about your destiny to rush the process. Not because I am withholding good things from you, but because I am preparing you for the best things. Not because I do not hear your prayers, but because I am answering them in a way that will give you something sustainable, not just something temporary. You have been praying for breakthrough. I have been working on your foundation. You have been asking for open doors. I have been developing your character. You have been pleading for change in your circumstances. I have been creating change in your heart, and all of that has to happen first. Because when your heart is right, when your character is developed, when your foundation is solid, then the breakthrough will come and you will be able to sustain it. Then the doors will open and you will be able to walk through them wisely. Then the circumstances will change and you will be able to steward the change well. Let me speak to the disappointments you have experienced, the times when you thought something was going to happen and it did not, the moments when you felt led in a certain direction and the door closed, the situations where you had hope and then that hope was crushed. You have been interpreting those experiences as evidence that I am not faithful, as proof that maybe I do not really care, as confirmation that perhaps you cannot trust me after all. But I need you to see those disappointments differently. Every closed door was protection. Every unanswered prayer was answered, just not in the way you wanted. Every no was actually me saying, not that, I have something better. You could not see it at the time. You still might not be able to see it now. But I promise you, when you get to where I am taking you, when you see the full picture, you are going to look back on every single disappointment and recognize it as a divine appointment. You are going to see that what felt like rejection was actually redirection. What felt like a setback was actually a setup for something better. There is a scripture that says, "My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts." That is not just poetic language. That is practical reality. I operate from a completely different perspective than you do. I see the beginning from the end. I see what is coming that you do not see. I understand how everything connects in ways you cannot comprehend. And sometimes what you think you want is actually the thing that would derail you from what I have planned. Sometimes what you think you need would actually hurt you. Sometimes what you are convinced is the answer is actually a distraction from the real solution. So when I close a door, it is not because I am being cruel. It is because I am being kind. When I say no to something you really want, it is not because I do not care about your desires. It is because I care more about your destiny. When I redirect you away from something you had your heart set on, it is not because I am denying you. It is because I am protecting you and positioning you for something that aligns better with my purposes for your life. Accept the closed doors. Embrace the unanswered prayers. Welcome the redirections. Have faith that I know what I am doing even when it does not make sense to you. Because I do. I really do. And one day you are going to be so grateful that I did not give you what you thought you wanted, because you will have received what I knew you needed. I want to address the lies you have been believing about yourself, the negative self-talk that plays on repeat in your mind, the accusations that tell you that you are not enough, not worthy, not qualified, not capable, the voice that says you have made too many mistakes, missed too many opportunities, wasted too much time, the whisper that insists you are too broken, too damaged, too far gone for me to really use you or bless you. None of that is true. Not one word of it. Those are lies from the enemy. and he is using your own voice to speak them so that you think they are your own thoughts. But they are not. They are accusations, and I am here to silence every single one of them with truth. You are enough because I am in you. You are worthy because I made you worthy through the blood of Christ. You are qualified because I called you, and whom I call, I equip. You are capable because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. You have not made too many mistakes because my grace covers every single one of them. You have not missed too many opportunities because I create new opportunities constantly. You have not wasted too much time because I redeem time and make up for the years the locusts have eaten. You are not too broken because I specialize in broken things. You are not too damaged because I am in the restoration business. You are not too far gone because there is no distance too far for my love to reach. Stop agreeing with the lies. Stop letting the enemy define you. Stop accepting labels that contradict what I have spoken over you. I say you are chosen. I say you are loved. I say you are accepted. I say you are forgiven. I say you are redeemed. I say you are justified. I say you are sanctified. I say you are my child, my heir, my beloved. And my voice is the only voice that matters. My word is the only word that defines you. My opinion is the only opinion that counts. So when the accusations come, and they will come, I want you to recognize them as lies. I want you to reject them. I want you to replace them with truth. Speak my word over yourself. Declare what I say about you. Remind yourself of who you are in Christ. Because you are not who the enemy says you are. You are not who your past says you are. You are not who your mistakes say you are. You are who I say you are. And I say, you are mine, you are loved, and you are destined for good things. There is a battle happening for your mind. The enemy knows that if he can control your thoughts, he can control your life. If he can get you to believe lies about yourself, about me, about your future, then he can keep you trapped in fear and defeat, even though you have been given victory. So he whispers constantly, he accuses relentlessly, he magnifies your weaknesses, he minimizes your strengths. He brings up your past, he distorts your present, he paints your future in dark colors, and he does all of this through thoughts that feel like your own. But you have the authority to take every thought captive. You have the power to reject what does not align with my word. You have the ability to renew your mind with truth. And when you do that consistently, when you make it a practice to monitor your thoughts and replace lies with truth, you will start to experience freedom in your mind that translates to freedom in your life. The battlefield is the mind. The weapon is the word. The strategy is to think about what you are thinking about and to intentionally choose thoughts that align with heaven instead of hell. It takes practice. It takes discipline. It takes awareness. But it is absolutely possible, and it is absolutely necessary if you want to walk in the fullness of everything I have for you. I am calling you to a higher level of awareness. Not just awareness of what is happening around you, but awareness of what is happening within you. What are you thinking? What are you believing? What narratives are you accepting as truth? What lies have you been agreeing with for so long that they feel like facts? Bring all of it into the light. Examine it against my word, and reject anything that does not align with what I say. You have more power than you realize. You have more authority than you have been using. You have more access to heaven than you have been taking advantage of. I have given you everything you need for life and godliness. I have equipped you with spiritual weapons that are mighty for pulling down strongholds. I have given you my Spirit who leads you into all truth. I have given you my word, which is living and active and sharper than any sword. I have given you my name, which carries all authority in heaven and on earth. I have given you access to my throne room where you can come boldly to receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. You are not powerless. You are not helpless. You are not hopeless. You are a child of the Most High God, and you have been given authority and power and access that most people do not even realize is available. So stop living like a victim. Stop acting like you are at the mercy of circumstances or people or the enemy. Start living like who you are. Start walking in the authority I have given you. Start exercising the power that is yours through Christ. Start accessing the resources of heaven that are available to you. All will be restored because you have a God who is all-powerful working on your behalf. Peace is coming because you have access to wisdom that surpasses human understanding. Wholeness awaits you because you are not fighting your battles alone. I am making things right because the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. Everything will be well because I have overcome the world, and you are in me, which means you are an overcomer too. Stop looking at your situation through natural eyes. Start seeing it through spiritual eyes. Stop evaluating what is possible based on human limitations. Start recognizing that with me, all things are possible. Stop calculating the odds based on what you can do. Start operating in faith in what I can do. Because what you can do is limited, but what I can do is limitless. And I am willing to do immeasurably more than you could ask or imagine according to my power that is at work within you. Let me paint a picture of what is coming. You have been in a season that felt like winter. Cold, dark, everything looked dead, everything felt hard. You could not see any evidence of life or growth or progress. But winter is not the end. Winter is not death. Winter is dormancy. Winter is rest. Winter is the season when things happen underground, out of sight, in preparation for spring. And spring is coming. The season is shifting. The temperature is changing. The atmosphere is about to feel different. And suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, you're going to start seeing evidence of life. Green shoots pushing through the ground. Buds appearing on branches that looked dead. Color returning to places that were gray. Warmth replacing the cold. Light increasing. Hope rising. And you are going to realize that all the time you thought nothing was happening, everything was happening. It was just happening beneath the surface, out of sight, in the hidden place where I do my best work. Spring is a season of sudden growth. Things that were dormant come alive quickly. Things that looked dead burst forth with life. In winter, you could wait weeks and see no visible change. But in spring, you can almost watch things grow. There is momentum, there is acceleration, there is visible evidence that something has shifted. That is where you are headed. You have been in the winter of waiting, but you are about to enter the spring of breakthrough. And when it starts to happen, it is going to happen quickly. Doors that have been closed for years are going to open in a moment. Relationships that have been broken are going to be restored suddenly. Provision that has been scarce is going to start flowing abundantly. Opportunities that have been absent are going to start appearing regularly. And you are going to look back on the winter and understand why it was necessary. You needed the rest. You needed the hidden work. You needed the time of dormancy to build strength for the season of growth. So do not despair in the winter. Do not give up when you cannot see evidence of life. Do not walk away when it feels like nothing is happening. Because spring is coming. The season is shifting. The breakthrough is near. And everything, truly everything, is about to change. I want to talk to you about the treasure that has been hidden in this trial you have been going through. You have been so focused on the difficulty of what you are experiencing that you have missed the value of what you are gaining. You have been seeing this season as something to get through when I have been using it as something to grow you through. And in the process, I have been depositing things in you that are more valuable than gold. Endurance, patience, character, depth, wisdom, compassion, humility, dependence on me, faith that has been tested and proven genuine. These are treasures that you could not acquire any other way. You cannot develop endurance without having something to endure. You cannot build patience without having something to wait for. You cannot deepen your character without facing situations that reveal what needs to be refined. You cannot gain wisdom without walking through experiences that teach you things you did not know. You cannot develop compassion without experiencing pain that helps you understand what others are going through. You cannot learn humility without facing limitations that show you how much you need me. You cannot build authentic faith without going through seasons where faith is all you have to stand on. This is why I allow hard seasons, not because I am punishing you, but because I am preparing you. Not because I want you to suffer, but because I want you to grow. Not because I do not care about your pain, but because I care more about your purpose, and I know that the pain is producing something in you that is necessary for that purpose. One day, you are going to use what you are learning right now to help someone else who is going through something similar. One day, you are going to have a testimony that encourages someone who is about to give up. One day, you are going to have a depth of compassion that allows you to minister to someone in pain in a way you never could have if you had not walked through this yourself. One day, you are going to have wisdom to share that came from lessons you learned in this very season. One day, you are going to look back and realize that this hard season was actually one of the most valuable seasons of your life because of what you gained from it. So stop wasting this season wishing it was over. Start mining it for the treasure it contains. Pay attention to what I am teaching you. Notice what I am developing in you. Recognize the ways I am refining you. Because this season has purpose. This trial has meaning. This difficulty is not random. I am using all of it to prepare you for everything that is coming. And what is coming is good. What is coming is blessed. What is coming is abundant. What is coming is more than you have asked for. What is coming is better than what you lost. What is coming is worth everything you have been through. So hold on. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep standing. Because you are not going through this for nothing. You are going through this for something. And that something is going to blow your mind when you finally see it. Let me speak to your relationships. The ones that have been strained. The ones that have been broken. The ones that have been a source of pain. You have been carrying so much hurt from people who were supposed to love you but wounded you instead. People who were supposed to support you but betrayed you. People who were supposed to stand with you but walked away. And that pain has been heavy. It has affected the way you see yourself. It has impacted the way you relate to others. It has made it hard for you to trust anyone, even me. I see the wounds. I know who caused them. I understand the depth of the hurt. And I am not minimizing any of it. The pain is real. The betrayal is real. The loss is real. But I do not want you to stay stuck in that pain. I do not want you to let what they did define the rest of your life. I do not want you to carry bitterness that poisons your own heart, while the people who hurt you go on with their lives unaffected by your anger. I am inviting you to release it, not because they deserve to be forgiven, but because you deserve to be free. Forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook. It is about getting yourself off the hook. It is about refusing to let their actions continue to control your emotions, your thoughts, your peace. It is about choosing freedom over bondage. It is about trusting me to handle the justice while you walk in peace. This does not mean you have to reconcile with people who are toxic. This does not mean you have to put yourself back in situations that are harmful. This does not mean you have to trust people who have proven themselves untrustworthy. Forgiveness can happen without reconciliation. You can release the offense without opening yourself up to being hurt again. You can let go of bitterness without letting dangerous people back into your life. What I'm asking you to do is release the weight. Stop rehashing what they did. Stop imagining conversations where you tell them how much they hurt you. Stop fantasizing about them apologizing or realizing what they did to you. Stop waiting for them to change or make it right. Just release it. Give it to me. Let me carry the hurt. Let me handle the justice. Let me heal the wound. And you focus on moving forward instead of staying stuck in the past. This is hard. I know it is. Especially when the wound is deep. Especially when the betrayal was significant. Especially when the person who hurt you has never acknowledged what they did. But I am asking you to do it anyway. Not for them. For you. Because you cannot move into everything I have for you while you are still chained to what they did to you. You cannot receive new relationships while you are still bitter about old ones. You cannot walk in freedom while you are still holding on to grudges. Let it go. Forgive them. Not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. And I will help you. I will give you the grace to do what you cannot do on your own. I will give you the strength to release what you have been gripping so tightly. I will heal the places that have been wounded. I will restore what has been stolen. I will give you beauty for ashes and joy for mourning and peace for turmoil. but you have to be willing to let go of what you have been holding on to. Now let me speak about the specific promises I have made to you, the ones that are deeply personal, the ones that I have whispered to your heart in quiet moments, the ones that you have written down and prayed over and believed for. Those promises are still valid. They have not expired. They have not been canceled. They are as true today as they were the day I spoke them to you. You have been wondering if maybe you misunderstood, if maybe you heard what you wanted to hear instead of what I actually said, if maybe those promises were conditional and you did not meet the conditions. But I want to settle this once and for all. You did not misunderstand. You did hear me correctly. And those promises were not conditional on your perfection. They were based on my faithfulness, not your performance. Every promise I have made to you is yes and amen. Every word I have spoken over your life will come to pass. Every vision I have given you will manifest. Every dream I have placed in your heart will be fulfilled, not because you have earned it, not because you have done everything right, but because I am faithful to complete what I have started, because I do not change my mind, because my gifts and calling are irrevocable. So stop doubting. Stop second-guessing. Stop wondering if maybe it was all in your imagination. It was not. I spoke. You heard. The promise is real, and it is going to happen, exactly as I said it would, in my timing, in my way, but it is going to happen. And when it does, when you finally see with your own eyes what I have been telling you all along, you are going to fall on your face in worship. You are going to weep with gratitude. You are going to be overwhelmed by my faithfulness. You are going to realize that every moment of waiting was worth it. Every tear you cried had purpose. Every prayer you prayed was heard. Every time you almost gave up but chose to hold on instead, you were choosing to position yourself for this breakthrough. The promise is not in question. The timing is in my hands, and both the promise and the timing are working together for your good. So rest in that. Stand on that. Build your life on that, and watch what I do. Let me give you a glimpse of what I see when I look at you. Not who you were, not who you are struggling to be, but who you are becoming. I see the fullness of the potential I placed in you. I see the person you are when you are walking in complete freedom from fear and doubt. I see the anointing that is on your life being released without hindrance. I see the gifts I have given you being used to their full capacity. I see the calling I have placed on you being fulfilled with joy and confidence. I see the destiny I have ordained for you being walked out with boldness and faith. I see you healed, whole, free, joyful, peaceful, confident, secure in my love, certain of my faithfulness, walking in authority, operating in power, moving in wisdom, flowing in compassion, radiating my glory, reflecting my character, bearing fruit that remains, making an impact that lasts, leaving a legacy that matters. That is who you are becoming. That is what I am working toward. That is the version of you that I am developing through this process. And every hard thing you go through, every trial you face, every disappointment you experience, every delay you endure, is being used by me to chip away everything that is not that person. I am removing the false beliefs. I am breaking the patterns that do not serve you. I am healing the wounds that have been holding you back. I am freeing you from the fears that have been limiting you. I am dismantling the self-sufficiency that has been keeping you from depending on me. I am stripping away everything that is not really you, so that the real you, the you I created you to be, can emerge. And when that process is complete, when you step into the fullness of who I have called you to be, you are going to look back on this season and thank me for not giving up on you. You are going to be grateful that I loved you enough to take you through the process instead of just giving you a quick fix. You are going to understand that the transformation was worth the discomfort. The freedom was worth the fight. The breakthrough was worth the wait. So do not resist the process. Embrace it. Cooperate with it. Let me do what I need to do in you. Because what I am creating is something beautiful, something powerful, something that will bring glory to my name and blessing to your life and hope to others who are watching. I am finishing what I started. I am completing the work I began. I am perfecting what concerns you. And when I am done, when you see what I have been building, you are going to stand in awe of my faithfulness. You are going to marvel at my wisdom. You are going to worship me with a depth of gratitude that comes from having experienced my goodness in the middle of hardship, my faithfulness in the middle of uncertainty, my love in the middle of pain. All will be restored, not just eventually, but eternally. Not just in your circumstances, but in your soul. Not just in what you receive, but in who you become. Because I am making all things new. I am working all things together for good. I am turning mourning into dancing, and ashes into beauty, and despair into praise. And you, my beloved child, are going to be a living testimony to my redeeming, restoring, resurrecting power. Hold on. Keep believing. Keep having faith. Keep standing. Your breakthrough is coming. Your promise is manifesting. Your season is shifting. And everything, truly everything, is about to be well. Before I close this message, there is one more thing I need you to understand. The journey you have been on, with all its twists and turns, with all its ups and downs, with all its moments of hope and moments of despair, has not been random. It has been orchestrated. Every single step, even the missteps, even the detours, even the times when you felt completely lost, has been part of a larger plan that I have been working out for your good. You look at your path and you see chaos. I look at your path and I see choreography. You see randomness. I see intentionality. You see wasted time. I see investment in your future. You see failure. I see refinement. You see loss. I see preparation for gain. You see endings. I see new beginnings. We are looking at the same journey but from completely different perspectives. And I need you to start seeing it from my perspective instead of your own. Your story is not over. This chapter is not the end. This season is not the conclusion. You are in the middle of something that is still unfolding, still developing, still moving toward the glorious conclusion I have planned. And when you finally reach that conclusion, when you see how everything comes together, you are going to realize that every single thing you went through was necessary to get you there. The pain you experienced taught you compassion you would not have otherwise. The loss you suffered created space for something better. The betrayal you endured revealed who your real friends are and taught you discernment. The failure you faced humbled you and made you dependent on me instead of yourself. The delay you hated developed patience and perseverance in you. The disappointment you felt deepened your faith. The struggle you resented built strength in you. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Everything had purpose. And the same is true for what you are going through right now. This current difficulty is not meaningless. This present struggle is not pointless. This situation that feels overwhelming is actually working for you, not against you. It is developing something in you. It is preparing you for something. It is positioning you for the next level of what I have called you to. So stop resisting it. Stop fighting it. Stop wishing it was different. Instead, lean into it. Ask me what I am trying to teach you through it. Look for the treasure hidden in the trial. Search for the purpose in the pain, because it is there. I promise you, it is there. And when you find it, when you discover what I am doing in you through this, the whole experience will shift from something you endure to something you embrace. I want to speak to you about identity, about who you are and whose you are, because the enemy has been attacking your identity, trying to make you forget who you are in me. He has been whispering lies about your value, your worth, your significance. He has been trying to define you by your past, by your mistakes, by your weaknesses, by your failures. And if you have been listening to those lies, they have been shaping the way you see yourself and the way you live your life. But I am here to remind you of the truth. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by my promises over your future. You are not identified by your mistakes. You are identified by my grace that covers all sin. You are not characterized by your weaknesses. You are characterized by my strength that is perfected in weakness. You are not labeled by your failures. You are labeled by my love that never fails. You are a child of God. You are chosen. You are loved. You are accepted. You are forgiven. You are redeemed. You are justified. You are sanctified. You are set apart. You are called. You are anointed. You are equipped. You are empowered. You are more than a conqueror. You are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. You are blessed going in and blessed going out. You are the righteousness of God in Christ. You are seated with Christ in heavenly places. You are an ambassador for Christ. You are a royal priesthood. You are a holy nation. You are God's own possession. That is who you are, not who you feel like, not who circumstances say you are, not who other people think you are, not who the enemy accuses you of being. That is who you are in me. That is your true identity. That is the truth about you that supersedes every lie, every accusation, every negative label, every false narrative. And when you start living from that identity instead of for that identity, everything changes. When you start operating from a place of already being loved instead of trying to earn love, you find freedom. When you start functioning from a position of already being accepted instead of striving for acceptance, you find rest. When you start moving from a foundation of already being enough because I am in you instead of trying to prove you are enough, you find peace. The Christian life is not about trying to become something you are not. It is about becoming who you already are in me. It is about letting your behavior catch up with your identity. It is about walking in the reality of who I have made you instead of still living like who you used to be. You are a new creation. The old has gone. The new has come. You are not who you were. You are who I say you are. And I say you are mine, you are loved, and you are destined for greatness. Now let me address something that has been stealing your joy. Comparison. You have been comparing your journey to other people's journeys. You have been looking at where they are and measuring yourself against them. You have been seeing their blessings and wondering why you do not have what they have. You have been watching their progress and feeling like you are falling behind. And that comparison has been breeding discontent, envy, frustration, and a sense of failure in your heart. But I need you to stop comparing. Their journey is not your journey. Their timeline is not your timeline. Their calling is not your calling. Their assignment is not your assignment. What I am doing in their life has nothing to do with what I am doing in yours. I am not comparing you to them, so why are you? I have a unique plan for your life. I have specific purposes for you that are different from anyone else's purposes. I have given you a particular set of gifts, talents, abilities, experiences, and opportunities that are yours alone. And I am working all of those things together to fulfill a destiny that is uniquely designed for you. You are not supposed to look like anyone else. You are not supposed to have anyone else's life. You are supposed to be you, fulfill your calling, walk in your anointing, complete your assignment. When you compare yourself to others, you are essentially telling me that I made a mistake with you. You are saying that what I gave them is better than what I gave you. You are implying that their calling is more valuable than your calling. You are suggesting that I was not fair in how I distributed gifts and opportunities. But none of that is true. I do not make mistakes. I did not shortchange you. I gave you exactly what you need to fulfill exactly what I have called you to do. And when you walk in your lane, operating in your gifting, fulfilling your purpose, you will find a satisfaction that you could never find trying to be someone else or have someone else's life. Stop looking sideways at what everyone else is doing. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your focus on your own assignment. Keep your energy invested in your own growth. Because the only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. The only comparison that matters is, are you closer to me today than you were yesterday? Are you more like Christ today than you were last year? Are you walking in more freedom, more faith, more love, more wisdom than you used to? That is the only comparison that has value. Let me take you deeper into the concept of surrender. You have heard the word many times. You probably even think you have surrendered. But true surrender is more than just verbally saying, I give it to you, God. True surrender is actually releasing control. It is letting go of your death grip on the outcome. It is truly, genuinely, authentically trusting me with the thing you care most about. Surrender is scary because it requires you to be vulnerable. It requires you to admit that you cannot control everything. It requires you to accept that you are not in charge. It requires you to trust me with something that matters deeply to you without any guarantee of how I am going to handle it. And that feels risky. It feels dangerous. It feels like you are giving up or giving in or settling. But surrender is not weakness. Surrender is wisdom. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is letting me take over. Surrender is not defeat. Surrender is victory. Because you are acknowledging that I am God and you are not. That I am in control and you do not have to be. That I am trustworthy and you can rest in that. When you truly surrender something to me, you stop trying to manage it. You stop obsessing over it. You stop lying awake at night worrying about it. You stop trying to manipulate circumstances to make it work out the way you want. You actually let it go. You release it into my hands. And then you rest, knowing that I am handling it, knowing that I am working it out, knowing that I will do what is best, even if what is best is not what you expected. This is where true peace comes from. Not from having everything under control, but from surrendering control to the one who actually is in control. Not from knowing the outcome, but from trusting the one who knows the outcome. Not from being able to see the whole path, but from following the one who sees the whole path and is guiding your steps. I am inviting you into deeper surrender. Not just surface-level lip service surrender, but deep, authentic, vulnerable surrender, where you truly release everything into my hands and then rest in the knowledge that I am God and I have it all under control. This kind of surrender will transform your life. It will free you from anxiety. It will release you from the burden of trying to control everything. It will open you up to experience peace that surpasses understanding. But it requires trust, real trust. The kind of trust that says, even if I do not understand, even if it does not go the way I want, even if it is hard, I trust that you are good and you are working for my benefit. Can you believe in me like that? Can you surrender like that? Can you let go like that? I am asking you to. Not because I want to see you struggle, but because I want to set you free. And the freedom comes when you stop trying to be God and start trusting God. Now let me speak about worship again, but from a different angle. Worship is not just something you do on Sundays. Worship is not just singing psalms or raising your hands. Worship is a lifestyle. Worship is the way you live every moment of every day. Worship is giving me your attention, your affection, your adoration, your allegiance. Worship is making me the priority, the focus, the center of everything. When you live a lifestyle of worship, your whole perspective changes. Problems become smaller because God becomes bigger in your awareness. Fears diminish because you are focused on the one who is greater than anything you are afraid of. Worries lose their power because you are constantly reminded of the one who is in control of everything you are worried about. A lifestyle of worship looks like thanking me throughout the day for things both big and small. It looks like talking to me about everything, not just when you need something. It looks like choosing to see my hand in your circumstances instead of only seeing the problems. It looks like praising me even when you do not feel like it because you choose to focus on who I am rather than what you are going through. It looks like making decisions based on what honors me rather than what benefits you. It looks like treating people the way I would treat them because you are representing me in every interaction. This is the kind of worship I am calling you to, not just a Sunday morning experience, but in every moment of everyday lifestyle. And when you live this way, you will find that you experience my presence more consistently. You will hear my voice more clearly. You will see my hand more frequently. You will feel my peace more deeply. Because worship positions you to experience me. It tunes your heart to heaven's frequency. It opens your spiritual eyes to see what is really happening beyond the physical realm. Make worship your default mode. Make gratitude your automatic response. Make praise your first reaction. Make adoration your constant companion. And watch how it transforms not just your relationship with me, but your entire life. Let me address the weariness you have been feeling, the kind of tired that sleep does not fix, the exhaustion that goes deeper than physical fatigue, the bone-deep weariness that comes from carrying heavy things for too long. I see it. I know you are tired. I know you have been running on fumes. I know you feel like you cannot keep going at this pace. And I am not telling you to try harder. I am not demanding more from you. I am inviting you to come to me. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That is not a suggestion. That is an invitation, an offer, a promise. Come to me, not to a program, not to an activity, not to a system, to me. And I will give you rest, real rest, soul rest, the kind of rest that restores you from the inside out, the kind of rest that is not dependent on your circumstances changing, the kind of rest that comes from being in my presence, being held by me, being carried by me, being loved by me. You have been trying to rest by doing less, but real rest comes from abiding more, abiding in me, staying connected to me, drawing from me, receiving from me. When you abide in me, when you stay connected to the vine, life flows into you effortlessly. Strength comes, peace comes, joy comes, not because you worked it up, but because it flows from me into you. And when you are connected to me, even hard things become easier, because you are not doing them in your own strength. You are doing them in mine. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. Not because there is no yoke, no burden, but because when you are yoked with me, I am carrying the weight. When you are partnered with me, I am doing the heavy lifting. You are still moving forward, but you are not exhausted by it because I am the one providing the strength. So stop trying to rest by doing nothing. Start resting by abiding in me. Spend time in my presence. Talk to me. Listen to me. Receive from me. Let me refill what has been depleted. Let me restore what has been drained. Let me renew what has been exhausted. I have unlimited supply. I never run out, and I am willing to pour into you as much as you are willing to receive. Come to me. Stay with me. Receive from me, and you will find rest for your soul. There is one more thing I need to address before I close this word. It is about the specific situation you have been praying about. The one that has consumed your thoughts, your prayers, your energy. The one that keeps you up at night. The one that has you anxious and worried and afraid. I know what it is. I have heard every prayer. I have seen every tear. I have felt every moment of your distress. And I want you to know that I am not ignoring you. I am not delaying because I do not care. I am working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see, arranging things that have to be perfectly aligned before I can give you what you are asking for. The timing matters, not just for you, but for everyone involved. Not just for the outcome, but for the process. Not just for what you get, but for who you become in the getting of it. And I am managing all of those factors simultaneously, orchestrating a solution that will bless you and everyone affected by the situation, that will bring glory to my name and testimony to your faith, that will not only meet your need but exceed your expectations. But I need you to keep depending on me with it. Keep praying about it. Keep believing for it, but also keep surrendering it. Do not let it consume you. Do not let anxiety about it steal your peace. Do not let fear about the outcome rob you of joy today. Give it to me, daily, hourly if you need to. Every time you start to worry about it, give it back to me. Every time you start to obsess over it, surrender it again. Every time you start to try to figure out how to make it happen, release it into my hands. I have this. I am handling this. I am working this out. And when the answer comes, when the breakthrough happens, when the promise manifests, you are going to see that it was worth the wait. You are going to understand why it had to happen this way. You are going to recognize my hand in every detail, and you are going to worship me with a depth of gratitude that only comes from having watched me do something that you knew you could never have done yourself. So have faith in this. Let me work. Stop interfering. Stop trying to help me. Stop attempting to force things to happen in your timing. Just rest. Just believe. Just stand on my word. And watch what I do. Because what I am about to do is going to blow your mind. It is going to exceed your expectations. It is going to be better than anything you could have orchestrated yourself. And when you see it, you are going to know without a doubt that it was me, that I am real, that I am active, that I am involved, that I care, that I am faithful, that I keep my promises. All will be restored. I have said it. I have decreed it. I have declared it over your life, and it is happening right now, in this moment, behind the scenes, in ways you cannot see yet, but you will, soon, very soon. You are going to see the evidence of what I have been doing. You are going to experience the manifestation of what I have been promising. You are going to witness firsthand that I am who I say I am, and I do what I say I will do. So stand firm. Do not waver. Do not doubt. Do not give up. The finish line is closer than you think. The breakthrough is nearer than it appears. The promise is about to manifest. And when it does, you are going to rejoice with a joy that is inexpressible and full of glory. You are going to praise me with abandon. You are going to testify to everyone who will listen about what I have done. And your story is going to encourage countless others to keep believing, keep holding on, keep standing on my promises. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your season of breakthrough. Receive it, believe it, walk in it, and watch as everything, truly everything, becomes well. Let me leave you with one final truth that will anchor your soul for all the days ahead. This truth has the power to sustain you through every trial, to steady you through every storm, to strengthen you through every battle. It is the simplest truth, and yet the most profound. It is this: I am with you. Not I was with you. Not I will be with you. I am with you. Present tense, current reality, constant truth. Right now, in this moment, as you read these words, I am with you. When you go to bed, my presence surrounds you. When you wake up, you are not alone. When you face that difficult situation, I am here. When you walk through that valley, I walk beside you. When you climb that mountain, I am with you. When you are surrounded by people, my presence remains. When you are completely alone, I am here. There is nowhere you can go that I am not already there. There is no situation you can face that I am not already in. There is no battle you can fight that I am not already fighting on your behalf. There is no tear you can cry that I am not already collecting. There is no prayer you can pray that I am not already hearing. There is no need you can have that I am not already meeting. You are never alone, never abandoned, never forgotten, never overlooked, never too much, never not enough. You are constantly, consistently, continuously held by me, known by me, loved by me, cared for by me, and nothing can change that. Not your mistakes, not your failures, not your doubts, not your fears, not your weaknesses, not your struggles. Nothing can separate you from my love or my presence. This is the foundation you build your life on, not circumstances that change, not people who fail you, not feelings that fluctuate, but this immovable, unshakable, unchangeable truth. My presence surrounds you, always, forever, no matter what. And because you are not alone, you can face anything. You can walk through any valley. You can climb any mountain. You can endure any trial. You can overcome any obstacle. You can survive any storm. Not because you are so strong, but because I am, and I walk beside you, and my strength becomes yours when you lean on me instead of yourself. The world will tell you that you are on your own, that you have to figure everything out yourself, that no one is coming to save you, that you are responsible for making your own way. But that is a lie. You are not on your own. You do not have to figure it all out yourself. Someone has come to save you. And while you do have responsibility for your choices and actions, you are not solely responsible for outcomes. I am working with you, for you, through you, on your behalf, constantly, tirelessly, faithfully. So when you feel alone, remember this truth. When you feel abandoned, remember this reality. When you feel forgotten, remember this promise. I am here. Not maybe. Not sometimes. Not when you deserve it. Always. Constantly. unfailingly, unconditionally. And peace is coming because the one who walks beside you is the one who has all power, all authority, all wisdom, all resources, all love, all grace, all mercy. Wholeness awaits you because you are not navigating this life alone. I am making things right because the God of the universe is personally, intimately, actively involved in every detail of your life. Now let me paint one more picture for you before I close. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The water stretches as far as you can see in every direction. The waves are powerful, relentless, overwhelming. And you are standing there with a small cup, trying to empty the ocean one cupful at a time. That is what you have been doing with your worries. You have been trying to manage them, control them, contain them, eliminate them one at a time with your own effort. But I am inviting you to put the cup down. Stop trying to empty the ocean. Instead, turn around and see that behind you is a mountain, solid, immovable, unchanging. And on that mountain is a fortress, strong, secure, impenetrable. And that fortress is me. I am your rock. I am your refuge. I am your strong tower. And I am inviting you to stop trying to fight the ocean and come into the fortress where you are completely protected from every wave, every storm, every threat. You cannot empty the ocean, but you do not have to. You just have to come into the fortress. You cannot control everything that happens, but you do not have to. You just have to trust the one who is in control. You cannot fix everything, but you do not have to. You just have to rest in the one who can. Stop fighting battles you were never meant to fight. Stop carrying burdens you were never meant to carry. Stop trying to be the savior when I am the savior. Your job is to trust. My job is to work. Your job is to follow. My job is to lead. Your job is to believe. My job is to perform. And when we each do our part, everything works together perfectly. The ocean of worry is real. The waves of anxiety are powerful. The storms of life are overwhelming. But none of them can reach you when you are hidden in me. None of them can touch you when you are covered by me. None of them can destroy you when you are held by me. So stop trying to fight the ocean. Come into the fortress. Stay in the fortress. Rest in the fortress. And let me be your protection, your peace, your provision. I want to remind you of something you may have forgotten. You are not just my creation. You are my child. There is a difference. I created everything, the stars, the mountains, the oceans, the animals. All of creation came from me. But you are not just my creation. You are my child. I did not just make you. I adopted you. I chose you. I claimed you. I gave you my name. I made you my heir. I brought you into my family. I gave you all the rights and privileges of sonship. And as my child, you have access to me that the rest of creation does not have. You can call me Father. You can come boldly into my presence. You can ask me for anything. You can cry on my shoulder. You can climb into my lap. You can rest in my arms. You can depend on my provision. You can trust my protection. You can count on my faithfulness. Because that is what fathers do for their children. And I am your Father. Not a distant deity. Not an impersonal force, but your Father. Personal, intimate, loving, caring, involved. And as your Father, I delight in you. I am proud of you. I love you with an intensity that you cannot comprehend. I think about you constantly. I plan good things for you continually. I work on your behalf tirelessly. I fight for you fiercely. I protect you vigilantly. I provide for you generously. Because you are mine. You are my child. And I am the best father who has ever existed or ever will exist. So when you pray, remember who you are praying to. Not a judge who is looking for reasons to condemn you, but a father who is looking for opportunities to bless you. Not a taskmaster who is demanding performance, but a father who is offering acceptance. Not a distant authority figure, but a loving dad who wants relationship with you. And when you need something, come to me like a child comes to their father, with confidence, with expectation, with trust, knowing that I love you, knowing that I care about what you care about, knowing that I want good things for you, knowing that I am going to take care of you, because that is what I do. That is who I am. I am your father, and I will never stop being your father. I will never stop loving you. I will never stop caring for you. I will never stop providing for you. I will never stop fighting for you. You are safe with me. You are secure in me. You are loved by me, completely, unconditionally, eternally, and nothing will ever change that. Now, as we come to the close of this word, I want to give you some practical steps for walking out everything I have spoken to you. First, write down the promise. Get a journal. Open a note on your phone. Grab a piece of paper. Somewhere you will see it regularly. And write this down. All will be restored. God said it. I believe it. That settles it. Write the date. Make it official. This is your declaration of faith. This is your line in the sand. This is you choosing to believe my word over your worry. Second, every time anxiety tries to creep in, speak that promise out loud. Do not just think it. Say it. There is power in speaking truth. When you speak it, you are not just reminding yourself. You are declaring it to the enemy. You are announcing it to the atmosphere. You are proclaiming it to every force that is trying to steal your peace. Everything will be well. Say it until you believe it. Say it until the anxiety loses its power. Say it until peace comes. Third, find worship music that lifts your spirit and play it often. Music has a way of shifting our emotional state. When you fill your environment with worship, when you fill your mind with songs that exalt me and declare my goodness, your whole perspective changes. The problems that seem so big become smaller. The fears that seem so overwhelming become manageable. The situation that seemed hopeless becomes full of possibility. Worship shifts the atmosphere, so make it a regular practice. Fourth, connect with other believers who will encourage your faith, not feed your fears. You need people in your life who will remind you of my promises when you forget, who will speak truth to you when you are believing lies, who will pray with you when you are struggling, who will celebrate with you when breakthrough comes. Find those people, invest in those relationships, and be that person for someone else. Fifth, serve someone. When you are stuck in your own problems, sometimes the best thing you can do is help someone else with theirs. It shifts your focus. It reminds you that you are not the only one going through hard things. It gives you perspective. It activates the principle that when you sow into others, you reap blessing in your own life. So find a way to serve, to give, to bless someone else, and watch how it ends up blessing you. Sixth, practice gratitude daily. Before you go to bed each night, think of 3 things you are grateful for that day. They do not have to be big things. I gave you another day. You had food to eat. You had a place to sleep. You heard from a friend. You saw something beautiful. You experienced a moment of joy. Train your mind to look for good things instead of only seeing problems. This practice will transform your perspective over time. Seventh, spend time in my word daily. Even if it is just 5 minutes. Even if it is just 1 verse. Read it, think about it, let it sink into your spirit. My word is alive and active. It is powerful. It is transformative. And when you consistently fill your mind with my word, it changes the way you think, which changes the way you live. Make this a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Eighth, pray without ceasing. Not long, eloquent prayers necessarily, but constant communion with me throughout your day. Talk to me about everything. The big things and the small things. The good things and the hard things. Share your heart with me. Ask me questions. Listen for my response. Prayer is not about impressing me with religious language. Prayer is about relationship, about staying connected, about keeping the lines of communication open. So pray, all the time, about everything. And finally, rest. Really rest. Stop striving. Stop trying to force things to happen. Stop attempting to control outcomes. Do what I have told you to do, and then rest in the knowledge that I am handling the rest. Sleep well knowing that I never sleep, and I am watching over you. Live with peace knowing that I am working all things together for your good. Move forward with confidence knowing that I am ordering your steps and directing your path. These are not burdensome tasks. These are tools I am giving you to help you walk in victory, to help you experience the peace I have promised, to help you live in the reality that everything will be well. Use these tools, practice these disciplines, and watch how they transform your experience of this season. All is about to be restored. The shift is happening, the breakthrough is coming, the promise is manifesting, and you are going to look back on this moment as the moment when everything turned around, when you stopped living in fear and started living in faith, when you stopped being controlled by worry and started being anchored in trust, when you stopped seeing yourself as a victim and started seeing yourself as a victor. This is your defining moment. This is where your story shifts. This is when the testimony begins. Because you are choosing right now to believe that everything will be well. Not because you see the evidence, but because I said it. And my word is enough. My promise is sufficient. My character is trustworthy. So receive this word. Let it sink deep into your spirit. Let it anchor your soul. Let it steady your heart. Let it guide your decisions. Let it shape your perspective. Let it transform your life. Because it is not just a nice message. It is a prophetic declaration over your life. It is the word of the Lord to you in this moment. And when the Lord speaks, things change. Situations shift. Doors open. Mountains move. Miracles happen. I am making things right. Not because you hope so, but because I decreed it. And when I decree a thing, it is established. When I speak a word, it does not return void. When I make a promise, heaven and earth move to bring it to pass. So hold on to this word, cling to this promise, stand on this truth, and watch what I do. Because what I am about to do in your life is going to be undeniable, unmistakable, and unforgettable. It is going to be a testimony to my faithfulness that will encourage generations to come. It is going to be evidence of my goodness that no one can refute. It is going to be proof that I am who I say I am, and I do what I say I will do. Your wait is almost over. Your breakthrough is at hand. Your promise is within reach. And everything, absolutely everything, is about to be well. There is one more layer to this promise that I want to unfold for you. When I say I am making things right, I am not just talking about your individual circumstances. I am talking about a comprehensive wellness that touches every area of your life, your spiritual life, your emotional life, your mental life, your physical life, your relational life, your financial life, your professional life. Every single area is under my care, under my authority, under my provision. And I am working in all of them simultaneously to bring everything into alignment with my purposes for you. You have been compartmentalizing your life, thinking that I only care about the spiritual parts, that you have to handle the practical parts on your own, that I am concerned with your soul but not your body, your worship but not your work, your prayer life but not your daily life. But that is not how I operate. I am interested in every single detail of your existence. Nothing is too small for my attention. Nothing is too mundane for my involvement. Nothing is outside the scope of my care. I care about your spiritual growth, and I am actively working to mature you, to deepen your relationship with me, to increase your understanding of who I am and who you are in me. I am teaching you to hear my voice more clearly, to discern my will more accurately, to walk in my ways more consistently. I am developing fruit of the Spirit in you: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. I am gifting you for ministry and equipping you for service. This spiritual development is happening even when you cannot see it or feel it. I care about your emotional health, and I am healing wounds that you have carried for years. I am dismantling strongholds of fear, anxiety, depression, shame, guilt that have held you captive. I am restoring joy that was stolen. I am renewing hope that was lost. I am rebuilding confidence that was shattered. I am teaching you how to process emotions in healthy ways, rather than suppressing them or being controlled by them. This emotional healing is a process, and I am patient with that process, working gently to restore what has been broken. I care about your mental well-being, and I am renewing your mind with truth. I am replacing lies with reality. I am correcting distorted thinking patterns. I am helping you develop healthy thought processes. I am teaching you to take thoughts captive rather than letting them run wild. I am showing you how to focus on what is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and praiseworthy. This mental transformation changes everything about the way you experience life. I care about your physical body, and I am concerned about your health. I want you to treat your body as the temple of my spirit. I want you to take care of it, to rest it, to fuel it properly, to move it regularly. And when sickness comes, I am your healer. I am the one who restores health and brings recovery. I am attentive to every pain, every ailment, every struggle your body faces. And I am working healing in ways that are sometimes miraculous and sometimes gradual, but always purposeful. I care about your relationships, and I am actively working to bring healthy people into your life and remove toxic people from your life. I am teaching you how to love well, how to set boundaries, how to communicate effectively, how to forgive genuinely, how to build authentic connections. I am restoring broken relationships that can be restored and giving you peace about releasing relationships that need to end. I am positioning you to be a blessing to others and surrounding you with people who will bless you. I care about your finances, and I am your provider. I am opening doors of opportunity. I am giving you wisdom to manage what you have. I am teaching you principles of stewardship. I am breaking cycles of lack and establishing patterns of abundance. I am showing you how to be generous without being foolish, how to save without hoarding, how to enjoy without being wasteful. I am working to bring you into financial stability and eventually financial freedom so that you can be a blessing to others. I care about your work, and I am ordering your professional life. I am opening doors that align with your calling and closing doors that would lead you away from my purposes. I am giving you favor with people who have influence over your career. I am developing skills in you that will be valuable. I am positioning you for promotion in my timing. I am teaching you how to work with excellence as unto me, how to navigate workplace challenges with wisdom, how to be salt and light in your professional environment. All of these areas matter to me. All of them are under my care. All of them are being worked on simultaneously. And when I say everything will be well, I mean in all of these areas, not just one or two, all of them, because I am comprehensive in my care for you. I do not neglect any part of your life. I do not ignore any area of your need. I see it all, I care about it all, and I am working in it all. This is why you can rest. Because you are not responsible for making everything work in every area of your life. You are responsible to be obedient in what I tell you to do, to be faithful with what I give you to steward, to cooperate with the work I am doing in you. But I am the one who makes it all work together. I am the one who orchestrates the details. I am the one who brings breakthrough in every area. So when you are tempted to worry about your finances, remember that I am your provider, and I am working in that area. When you are anxious about your health, remember that I am your healer, and I am working in that area. When you are concerned about your relationships, remember that I am working in that area. When you are stressed about your work, remember that I am working in that area. Nothing is outside of my awareness or my ability to intervene. Wholeness awaits you. Spiritually, you will grow in maturity and walk in increasing intimacy with me. Emotionally, you will be healed and whole, able to experience the full range of emotions without being controlled by them. Mentally, you will think thoughts that align with truth and walk in sound mind. Physically, you will experience health and strength and vitality. Relationally, you will have meaningful connections with people who add value to your life and whom you can bless. Financially, you will have more than enough to meet your needs and resources to be generous. Professionally, you will walk in your calling and operate in your gifting with favor and success. This is the comprehensive wellness I am working toward in your life. Not perfection, but alignment. Not a life without challenges, but a life where you are equipped to handle whatever comes. Not ease in every moment, but peace in every situation. Not control over circumstances, but confidence in the one who controls all circumstances. And this wellness is not something you have to strive for or work up. It is something you receive as you abide in me, as you stay connected to me, as you draw from me, as you trust me, as you surrender to me, as you cooperate with what I am doing. The wellness flows from the relationship. The breakthrough comes from the connection. The transformation happens through the abiding. So stop trying to fix everything in your own strength. Stop attempting to manage every area of your life independently. Stop compartmentalizing and thinking you have to handle some parts without me. Invite me into every single area. Give me access to every part of your life. Let me work in all of it. And watch how everything starts to align when you surrender it all to me. I want to speak one more time about the specific battle you are facing. The one that has been the hardest. The one that has tested your faith the most. The one that has brought you to the end of yourself. I see that battle. I know how long you have been fighting. I understand how exhausted you are. And I am telling you right now that you are not going to lose this battle. The enemy has been telling you that you are defeated, that you have already lost, that there is no point in continuing to fight. But he is a liar. The outcome of this battle was determined before the battle ever started. I have already won. And because you are in me, you have already won too. The enemy is not fighting to defeat you. He is fighting because he has already been defeated, and he is trying to convince you that you are defeated too. But you are not. You are victorious. You are an overcomer. You are more than a conqueror. So stop listening to the lies that say you are losing. Stop agreeing with the narrative that says this battle is too big for you. It is not too big for me. And I am fighting with you, for you, through you. This battle belongs to me, and I do not lose battles, ever. What you are seeing as a prolonged fight, I am seeing as a strategic victory that is being worked out step by step. What you are experiencing as delay, I am using as development. What feels to you like you are barely hanging on, looks to me like you are standing strong in the face of overwhelming odds. I am proud of you for not giving up. I am honored that you have continued to trust me even when you could not see the way forward. I am moved by your determination to keep believing, even when circumstances screamed that you should quit. And I am about to reward that faith. I am about to honor that perseverance. I am about to vindicate that trust. The breakthrough you have been praying for is coming. The victory you have been believing for is manifesting. The deliverance you have been hoping for is at hand. And when it comes, everyone who has been watching this battle is going to know that it was me. They are going to see that you could not have won this in your own strength. They are going to recognize that only God could have turned this around. And they are going to give glory to my name because of what I do in your situation. So do not give up now. Do not quit when you are this close. Do not walk away when victory is within reach. Stand. Keep standing. And when you have done everything you know to do, keep standing. Because the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. The one who endures will receive the crown. The one who does not grow weary in doing good will reap a harvest if they do not give up. You are going to win this battle. You are going to see the breakthrough. You are going to experience the victory. And you are going to testify to my faithfulness for the rest of your life. This battle is not the end of your story. It is the setup for your testimony. It is the darkness before the dawn. It is the final push before the birth. And what is about to be born out of this season is something so significant, so powerful, so transformative, that it will have been worth every moment of the struggle. Hold on, keep fighting, keep believing, keep standing. Victory is coming, breakthrough is near, deliverance is at hand, and everything, every single thing, is about to be well. Before I seal this word with amen, let me remind you one final time of the unshakable foundation you stand on. You are not hoping things will work out. You are standing on a promise from the God who cannot lie. You are not wishing for a better future. You are walking toward a destiny that has already been ordained. You are not trying to convince yourself to be positive. You are declaring truth that has been spoken over your life by the Creator of the universe. Peace is coming, not because of favorable circumstances, but because of a faithful God. Not because of your ability, but because of my power. Not because the path will be easy, but because my presence makes every path navigable. Not because you have it all together, but because I am holding you together. This is the truth you anchor to. This is the reality you build your life on. This is the promise that will carry you through every storm, every trial, every challenge, every season. And when you get to the other side of this current situation and you look back, you will see that this promise was the lifeline that kept you from drowning, the light that kept you from losing your way, the hope that kept you from giving up. My child, my love for you is more than you could ever comprehend. A love that is perfect, unchanging, unending, unconditional. And because of this love, I will never stop working for your good. I will never abandon you to your circumstances. I will never leave you to figure things out on your own. You are not alone. I am for you. I am working on your behalf. And I will not rest until everything in your life aligns with my perfect will for you. Amen. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear these words. Type Amen in the comments to receive this blessing. Remember, when God makes a promise, it is not dependent on your ability to make it happen. It is guaranteed by His faithfulness. You do not have to carry the weight of worry anymore. You do not have to figure everything out. You just have to depend on the one who holds your future. Everything will be well because God said it would be. And He has never broken a single promise. Stand on that truth. Rest in that reality. And watch how God moves in your situation in ways that leave no doubt He is real, He is active, and He is deeply involved in every detail of your life.